Hey there, folks. Good evening and happy Saturday to you. I am First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. We are streaming here live on Atlanta News First Plus with a check of the First Alert forecast this evening. Of course, another record broken today. In case you weren't aware, high temperature at Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport today was 87 degrees. The record set to most recently in 2010. Before that, 1940 was 85. So we kind of blew that one out. Yesterday's record was 82, also set back in 1940. Yesterday's high temperature was 83. So we also beat out that record, again, breaking both of those records. So record warmth certainly verifying in the forecast. Abnormally warm conditions this afternoon, giving way to some subtle changes this evening. I want to go ahead and take you outside. And we're dry in the city of Atlanta, not tracking any rain at the moment, but we do have a little bit of shower activity out there this evening. And we will be tracking that here probably for the next 45 minutes, hour and a half. And then as we head into the late evening hours, we will see conditions dry back out. Now, it's not the city of Atlanta that's dealing with the rain, and it's not a bad thing. You know, Saturday evening, you probably don't want rain on your plans, but we do have the need for rain. Technically, we're not in a drought, and as far as the year to today's date is concerned, we're wetter than average. But of course, nature doesn't work like that. Just because it rained a ton with Helene, just because it rained a ton earlier in the year, lots of sunshine, abnormal warmth, low humidity, soil moisture really starting to dry out there. And I'm sure anyone with a garden, anyone with grass, knows that it's drying out there. We could use a little bit of rain, and some folks just lucky enough to get it. East and northeast of Atlanta. This is really out of the Atlanta News First viewing area now. Moved through portions of Hall County earlier, also White County, Towns County, Lumpkin County earlier. Saw a little bit of rain, a little heavy downpour here on the north side of Dahlonega. Even had a little bit of rain, try to get close to the northern shores of Lake Lanier up in Hall County. But that's about it. No more shower activity, no more thunderstorms developing to the north and west, up towards Chattanooga. If we were seeing more develop, they would be pushing south and east and back into our area, but we're just not seeing that. So I think we're pretty much done, pretty much wrapping it up, that rain chance that we had today. Alex Corbin on YouTube. Evening to you all from Atlanta, East Point here. Alex in East Point, thanks for checking in and for watching. And the Avatar Big Show on YouTube saying, welcome to Atlanta. Where the players play. Obviously, that is a pretty famous quote from a pretty famous song. And it's an evening where a lot of folks are out having fun. We have One Music Fest there at Central Park in Old Fourth Ward. We have Jelly Roll in town. A lot going on this weekend. Busy weekend across not just the city of Atlanta, but all around the metro and beyond. I was in Roanoke, Alabama, Randolph County today for Fall on Main. Packed there as well. And everyone was talking about just how warm it is, and certainly it is warm. We're talking about tracking a few showers, and that's because we have a change of air mass, a little cool front working its way through. Obviously, the technical term, cold front, but it's not going to be cold behind this particular front. But it will cool off a little bit in the First Alert forecast. We're starting to see some of that cooler air filter in. Look at LJ at 70. 64 in Griffin, still 75 in Atlanta. I got to say, I was just outside of Itigo, and it feels every bit of that 75 degrees. It's kind of warm and a little more humid, just a little bit more humid than it has been the past several evenings, so you're feeling it a little bit more. 74 in Athens with that rain off to your north and east, 66 Carrollton, 65 in LaGrange. And I don't know about you all, whether you're watching on YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire, Atlanta News First app, First Alert weather app. My allergies are killing me. It is the ragweed, I believe, that is really causing problems out there. And the fact that it's so warm, the air is so dry, or has been, it is allowing, those little particles to float so easily in the air. And that's why we're having, issues. A lot of people are having issues, especially if you're a late summer, kind of early fall sort of allergy sufferer. But looking at the latest levels, pulling this up, nothing to write home about. But maybe it just takes a little bit of the ragweed to give me issues. But hey, if you're having issues, let me know. First of all, I'm sorry, but second of all, let me know on YouTube. You can also text us 470-777-WANF. That's 470-777-9263. Tell me about your allergy woes. Let me know if you were lucky enough to get a little bit of rain today, because many were not. Overnight tonight, we're going to continue to dry out the door tomorrow morning. And I know we're talking about cooler air filtering in, and that's absolutely still the case. But tomorrow morning, we won't really notice much of a difference in our temperature out the door. Temperatures in the 50s to near 60. Atlanta for low temperature tomorrow morning, 60. That is warmer than the average low, which is 51. That's 9 degrees warmer, so far warmer than it should be on tomorrow's date, October 27th at that point, for a low temperature. But the afternoon will be cooler, but it's not going to warm up all that much tomorrow. And again, we will have more clouds in the forecast. I would say mostly cloudy to cloudy on through the day. There is a slight chance of rain, about a 20% chance. Most are avoiding the rain tomorrow. It's not a washout of a day by any means. That rain chance is 20%, kind of begins in the afternoon and lingers on into the early evening hours. And then much like today, we get into the overnight and we drop that slight rain chance back to nothing. And tomorrow will be cooler, as mentioned. Low to mid-70s, a breeze. So you're feeling a difference, but in particular tomorrow afternoon, not really tomorrow morning. Excuse me. Look at the range in temperatures tomorrow. 81 in LaGrange, 75 in Atlanta, 76 Covington, 69 in Athens, 60 in Helen. So it will be chilly up in northeast Georgia tomorrow. Rabun County, Fannin County, Lumpkin County, Lake Lanier. It was warm, it was sunny today. Lots of clouds, cool, and kind of breezy tomorrow. So not a good late day tomorrow. And that's because of that wedge, that kind of northeast, southwest moving batch of cool air. It's kind of oozing down the Appalachians and the mountain chain there right into northeast Georgia. And eventually everyone will be impacted by this cooler condition. But for the time being, Cleburne, Randolph counties in Alabama, probably warmest, lower 80s tomorrow afternoon. LaGrange, Troup County, Heard County, very similar. Upson County, also about 80 degrees, but you get over to Eatonton, 77. Just north of there, Athens at 69, and temperature staying in the low to mid-60s with a breeze and clouds as we get into northeast Georgia. We can show you this hour by hour here. Again, forecast model doing pretty well with today's forecast. Isolated mountain and northeast Georgia showers. Those are dwindling. So out the door tomorrow morning, notice those clouds kind of advancing or moving off to the south and west. That's indicative of cooler air moving in. In fact, if we're going to pull it back, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Notice how they're moving in, they're kind of building in. I'm going to draw arrows on here to kind of draw emphasis to that. Clouds are moving in as that cooler air filters in from the north and east. And you can see eventually, by the time we get into the afternoon, evening, and overnight Sunday, quite a bit of cloud cover. Wake up Monday morning, and there was a slight rain chance Sunday. It's not a washout. In fact, let's roll back the clock. Even though the clouds are moving in from the north and east, that rain chance is mainly south and west of Atlanta, and those showers are moving northwest to south and east. So warmest southwest of Atlanta. Also, that's where the greatest rain chance will be. But even in Cleburne, Randolph counties, Wedowee, Roanoke, over to LaGrange, up into Heard County, the chance of rain is pretty minimal. We're talking about a 20% chance of a shower. Same for the city of Atlanta. Again, not much to write home about here. Don't cancel the plans. Just in case, keep those rain alerts turned on in the First Alert weather app. Here we are out the door Monday morning. Temperatures, again, morning numbers not that cold. 40s in the mountains, 50s for just about everybody else. Monday afternoon, though, notice we don't warm up all that much. Temperatures staying in the 60s and lower 70s in many areas. Mid to upper 60s East Georgia, up in the North Georgia and Northeast Georgia mountains. Back in the lower 70s for the city of Atlanta. First Alert 7-day forecast. Cool air does not last long. We're back in the mid to upper 70s Tuesday, upper 70s to near 80 Wednesday. Halloween, 79 degrees. But that's in the afternoon. By the time you're trick-or-treating, evening time after sunset, it will be cooler, and that's the good news for those with holiday plans. No one wants a warm Halloween. I know I don't, that's for sure. So we are looking at better conditions as we get into Halloween. In fact, here's that Halloween forecast specifically for trick-or-treating. We will cool off. 5 p.m. 79. That's our warmest point of the day. 1 a.m. 74, 3 a.m. 70. Again, cooling down as we go through the evening hours. So I do think, in all honesty, maybe the city is in the 70s for trick-or-treating, but many outlying areas will be in the 60s for trick-or-treating. So just cool enough to feel festive, to feel like Halloween should across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. And that's about all we have going on in the weather. Not too much else going on. Unfortunately, no rain in the forecast. We are likely to have our driest calendar month of October on record, and the only calendar month without any rain recorded unless the airport gets lucky and happens to get at least a trace of rain tomorrow. So we've had longer dry streaks than 31 days, of course, but as far as calendar months are concerned, we've never had a calendar month. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, with 0 rain at Hartsfield-Jackson since records have been kept. And even beyond Hartsfield-Jackson, since records have been kept for the city of Atlanta. That may happen, though. Again, not a record dry streak. We still have a couple weeks to go before we're pushing those records as far as the number of days without rain consecutively. But impressive dry streak. Impressive sunny dry streak. Not even very much cloud cover the past few weeks. We have the clouds tomorrow, slight rain chance. No real legitimate widespread soaking rains in the forecast through at least the first couple of days of November. Odds are, though, the end of the first week of November, going into that second week, we could have a more impactful storm system. Maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, a greater chance of rain. And maybe some chillier air returning back to North Georgia and metro Atlanta. Going to go ahead and leave you be. Reminder, Sean Gables and I will be on Peachtree TV at 10 p.m. That's Atlanta CW affiliate with your latest news headlines, First Alert forecast, and more. And then back on WANF, Atlanta News First at 11 with your full First Alert forecast. We'll continue to keep you updated in the meantime. Streaming on Atlanta News First Plus, live at atlantanewsfirst.com, where you can grab the forecast as well as in the First Alert weather app. Have fun this evening. Stay safe.